Hello from Les Arnott, and in this tutorial we're going to learn how to get a bottle here. Just find the bottle. We're going to make that look transparent, and then we're going to place it onto this table and just make it look very realistic. So first thing, make sure that you've updated your Photoshop edition to the latest version, because the one thing I'm going to show you is a brand new tool or a brand new option on one of the tools. And if we go to the quick selection tool, so find your quick selection tool on the toolbar, and you'll see now there's on the menu on the options bar that you've got select subject. Now this is like artificial intelligence as such. What it tries to do is to select a subject from a photo, and that could be any type of subject. It isn't always 100% successful, but what it does is it gives you a great starting point. And usually with an image like this where you've just got a plain background, I've not tried it, but it should, fingers crossed, find the subject straight away. So I'm just going to click on the button, select subject. It takes a couple of seconds for the computer to analyze what's on the screen, and you can see, in this case, you can see the dotted marching ants going around there, and it's more or less a perfect selection. I don't think there's anything wrong with that whatsoever. So what we're going to do with that is I'm going to go to edit copy and then go to this image and click on edit paste. So there's the bottle. I'm going to bring this down using the move tool, so I've clicked on the move tool. Okay, so we've got the bottle on the table there, and we're going to resize this from the corner, making sure we've got the show transform controls there ticked on the options bar. And I hold down the shift key before I resize, and what that does, it keeps the proportions of the bottle correct. So I'm going to make it quite large, and usually don't do this too often because it does pixelate if you've got quite a small image and you make it larger, but in this case I think we're going to be okay, and I'll press the enter key just to commit the transform, and you can see that it's sharpened up nicely. It's done a really good job of converting that, making it larger. So Photoshop is quite good at this these days, and you can see you can read the text on the bottle quite easily. Okay, now next stage, if this bottle was on the table, the bottom of the bottle there would probably be, it would probably come out a bit more of a bevel than that. So we're going to alter that. So I'm going to go to the layers, making sure we're on layer 1. And what I'm going to do is to get the rectangular marquee tool. So we click on the rectangular marquee tool, and I'm going to drag over the bottom of the bottle. So from about there, making sure that we come below the bottom of the bottle, and we make a selection. We copy this by going to edit copy, and then we go to edit, paste special, and paste in place, and basically that just puts it in the place where it was copied from, that exact point. Now if I hide the one below, you can see that's all we've got on this layer, just that little bit there. We're going to make a selection using the elliptical marquee tool. So we change to the elliptical marquee tool. I'm going to make a selection. I want it to be the width of the bottle. So I'll come across the width of the bottle. You can actually see a little red line appear, and that shows when I'm in the middle. Can you see that? So that shows I'm directly in the middle of there. And then I'm going to drag down, and I just want to get a slight curvature below the bottle. You'll see what I mean when I let go. Okay, so now I've let go, and you can see that now I've got this curvature on the bottle. And I think it's moved slightly over to the left. I'm going to tap the right arrow key just once, and that will bring it back over. There we go. So see now this slight curvature, and what I'm going to do is we're still on layer 2 there, which is the little tiny bit at the bottom of the bottle. And I'm going to use the smudge tool. So I select the smudge tool. You've got the sharpen blur tool and the smudge tool. And we're going to change the strength to 100%. Okay, now the important thing with this is we get to the bottom of the bottle. What we're going to do is to smudge it down slightly. Now we need to move in vertical strokes and drag it down beyond the line. So I'll get there and I'll hold down the mouse and I'll just drag and I'll bring it down. And then I can move to here and I'll do the same again. I'll drag and I'll bring it down. And the same here, I drag and I'll bring it down. So work in a straight line, dragging down vertically, and it's just tiny little movements. And then we go to select, deselect. You can see now we've moved it down slightly. Okay, I'm going to click on that, click on the move tool. I may just resize that slightly. Try moving it up just to bring that down a little bit now. So I'm going to tap down with the arrow key. There we are, that's looking a bit better. It's just placing it in the right place. Click on apply. So now you can see we've got that slight curvature from the bottom of the bottle, which looks a lot more realistic than the original. There we go. Okay, next stage then. We need to merge this down to the layer below. So we right click with the mouse on the layer and we click on merge down. Not merge visible, merge down. And that puts the two layers together, so everything now is on the one layer. Just move that down a little bit. I'm going to right click on this layer 1 and we're going to duplicate this layer. So we go to duplicate layer, click on OK. So now we've got two bottles, one on top of the other. I'm going to hide the top one for now and click on the one below, so layer 1. And I'm going to take the opacity of the layer down till it's about something like that. We're going to bring it back up later, or we may. We'll bring it down to about there, just so we can see. Okay, now I'll click back on the eye to show the top layer, and I click on the top layer to make sure I'm on that layer. So what we've got is this solid layer, and below that we've got a transparent layer. And the way we're going to make the bottle transparent is by creating a mask on this and deleting, well, not deleting, but hiding part of the layer. So masking it out as such. So we click on the mask tool, and that applies a mask, and if it's white, that means it's opaque, we can't see through it. So we paint with black to make it transparent. So basically all we do is we get a brush. So make sure the hardness is all the way down on your brush. Size, a bit bigger. I'm actually going to use the keyboard for this, so the parenthesis keys, brackets next to the enter key, the bracket 2 bracket keys there. If you press those, you can resize by tapping the keys, by tapping the 2 brackets. So that's a nice quick way of doing that. I must make sure that the colour is black, so we change the foreground colour to black. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to paint. So we're on the mask, you can see there I've clicked on the mask, and I'm going to click and just mask out part of the bottle. I don't want to go over the label, so I'm being a bit careful there. And I'm not going straight to the edge of the bottle. You know, we don't have to get every little bit because not all of it will be transparent. But now you can see the effect. There we go. So that's what I'm looking for. don't really want to probably go, oh, this looks okay actually, so I'll just do a little bit there. If I've done a part, I can always go back to white and that will bring some back in, so I can paint some back in there. There we go. So white, any areas you've deleted will bring that in. Now you can see now, just by simply doing that, we've now got a transparent bottle. So if we hide the layer below it, you can see you've burnt an hole in that. And then you've got the transparent one underneath, and that just gives the effect that it's transparent. You can change the opacity of that layer there, layer 1. So we can make it more opaque by bringing it up. So you've got total opacity, and then we can bring it down and just get the effect we want. I think probably about there is looking good. Now all I need to do now is to click on the top layer, right click and merge that down. And then if I click on the move tool, you can see when I move the bottle, it's transparent. We can see through it. So there, we've made the bottle transparent. Now probably all I would do with this now is to click on the background layer, create a new layer, so a totally new layer, and just get black and use a brush, and I would just probably just paint a bit of a shadow on the edge of this. So remember, we're underneath, we're using a soft brush. So nothing over the top, it just needs to be something like that. It just makes it a little bit more dramatic. I'm actually going to duplicate that. I'm going to right click and duplicate the layer, which will make it darker. And also I can just drag that down a little bit. So one layer is solid, and I can actually change the layer mode of this one. So where it says normal, click on the box and click on soft light. And that will just give a nice effect. When we drag this down, can you see it's just very slight. Click on the tick to transform, or press the enter key. Just click on one of the other tools, and there you go. You've now made a bottle transparent, and you can see through to the background. So I hope you enjoy practicing that. You find lots of stock images that you can use. You know, find a picture of a table, find a picture of a bottle. You'll find plenty with a nice white background, so you can use the same method to extract the bottle. Off you go. Try that out. All the best from Les Arnott.